Have you ever wished you could have just one more conversation with someone you've lost? Well, today, we're diving into a really remarkable document that records one woman's spiritual journey to do exactly that. It's an incredibly profound and personal story about searching for peace, for connection, and for answers beyond the veil. You know, it's the ultimate question, isn't it? It's something humans have wondered about forever. It really touches on our deepest hopes, our fears, and what we believe about life, death, and whatever might come next. So we're not getting into some abstract philosophical debate today. Nope. Instead, we're following the very real, very personal account of a woman named Mrs. Wei as she tried to understand where her husband had gone. Okay, so let's set the scene. The date is August 16th, 1990. It's been less than 100 days since Mrs. Wei's husband, Mr. Zhang, passed away, and she seeks out a medium for a purpose that is just so deeply human. She wants to connect with him one last time, to know that he's okay. And this entire experience, it was all documented. And this is where her journey really begins. We're about to get the first glimpse of what was revealed when Mrs. Wei reached out across that boundary between worlds. And a connection is made. The very first image that comes through is one of just incredible calm. It's not a scary void, not some frightening place at all. It's her husband, Mr. Zhang, just standing there before a peaceful temple. The vision doesn't stop there. It gets even more detailed. It's not just about where he is, but how he is. And the description of his spiritual form is just amazingly specific. The details are so vivid. He's seen in a gray monk's robe with black cloth shoes. His head is shaved, and around his neck is a string of prayer beads. And even though his face is described as pale, the feeling is that his spiritual body is strong and well. This isn't some ghostly figure. It's a person who looks dignified and serene. But, you know, maybe the most important detail of all is about his state of mind. The record says he is totally calm, completely free from all the worries and struggles of the world he left behind. He is genuinely at peace. Okay, so the vision then kind of zooms out, moving from Mr. Zhang to the sacred place he's in. And what happens next is, well, it's pretty extraordinary. We're now taken inside the temple itself, and the feeling is one of reverence. The floor is spotless, smooth, a place you'd enter without shoes. And the space is dominated by 3 enormous, majestic Buddha statues. And right there, in this moment of intense connection, something absolutely incredible happens. A divine sign. The record describes it piece by piece. First, the eyes of the central Buddha statue open just a tiny bit. Then its mouth moves, almost like it's about to speak. And then a brilliant golden light just pours out from it, filling the entire space with this feeling of immense compassion. And from this divine presence, there comes a message. And it's not just for Mrs. Wei, it's for anyone who's grieving. The advice is that our earthly connections dissolve when we pass on. And even though it's natural to grieve, grieving too much can actually disturb the peace of the person who has passed, getting in the way of their spiritual journey. It's a message about letting go, really, for everyone's sake. So after that huge divine moment, the focus comes right back down, and it gets incredibly personal. It's time for the husband and wife to communicate. Now here's a really interesting detail. Because it's been less than 100 days since he passed, the account says Mr. Zhang isn't able to speak out loud. So their entire conversation happens telepathically, just mind to mind, a direct exchange. So in this silent conversation, she sends him her worries about family and all the things back here on Earth, and his response is so gentle but final. I can no longer manage or help with worldly things. Please forgive me. When he senses her deep sadness, he reassures her, don't waste time on sadness. I am getting used to it here. And finally, as it's time to part, he sends a simple, loving goodbye. But believe it or not, the experience isn't over yet. Another divine figure appears, and this leads to a final act of comfort and care. So along with those 3 huge Buddhas, there's another, smaller figure, Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva. In Buddhist tradition, he is a deeply loved figure who's known for his vow to help all souls find their way in the afterlife. He's seen sitting on a lotus and holding his signature staff. And what happens next is just this powerful link between ritual here and reassurance there. Mrs. Y prays to the Bodhisattva to bless her husband. An offering of joss paper, which is kind of like a currency for the afterlife, is made for him. and Mr. Zhang telepathically sends his thanks, saying this is very good, and even asks for a little more. Then he's seen putting the essence of these offerings in his packet, and it seems to make him feel more comfortable and secure. And with that, the connection gently fades. The journey doesn't end in sadness, but with this profound sense of peace. After seeing her husband in such a calm place and being able to do something to comfort him, Mrs. Wei is just filled with relief. This whole detailed record of Mrs. Wei's experience gives us a powerful look into one person's path to peace, but it leaves us with a much bigger question to think about, doesn't it? When we all face the universal experience of grief, what is the role of faith, of ritual, of trying to connect with something beyond what we can see? And how do those things help us find comfort when we are facing the ultimate unknown?